My worth and significance, the quality of me is being determined by somebody else's assets. That right there is your sign to be set free right there. Thank you. Thank you. Have your way, Lord. Speak to us today. In the name of Jesus, have your way. What's up, DBP fam? Welcome back to the Dearly Becoming podcast. I am your host, your sister, your friend, your auntie, your cheerleader. I am your transformational coach, Coach Nick. So today's episode is going to be a tad bit different because this is going to be a Ask Coach Nick episode. So in the Ask Coach Nick episodes, I am taking a question that I'm getting directly from one of our amazing Dearly Becoming family members. Sometimes we get real deep in the messages back and forth together. Sometimes those questions require a little bit more time and a little bit more explanation that you just can't do when you messaging each other. So today, I have a question that says, how can you overcome comparing yourself to others? That's a question we're going to dive into for all of us because let's face it, all of us have had comparisonitis. Some of us are still getting over comparisonitis, and some of us came in today because you want to get your shot. You want to go on to be cured and healed from comparisonitis. Amen and amen. We're talking about comparison today. Let's talk about the definitions because your freedom always begins with knowledge, right? Comparison involves evaluating yourself against others in terms of abilities, achievements, appearance, or other attributes. It's a natural human tendency, but can become detrimental when it leads to negative self judgment and diminished self worth. I am so big on defining a word, especially when I'm trying to get to the root of something. In defining this word, it tells us that we are evaluating ourselves. That's one of the biggest mistakes in comparison, right there. When you are evaluating, you're taking the sum total of who you are and you are judging it against the measuring stick of someone else. Why is that wrong? Let's unpack it. That someone else isn't you. They have not lived your life. They are not your DNA. They are someone else. And you are taking your attributes, your abilities, your achievements, and your appearances, and you are evaluating what you have and are up against her, up against him. What does that say to God? If you were a parent and your child compared how good you were of a parent according to what that child over there has and how that child looks and how that child is good in school and how that child gets a bike and how that child's family has money, and they compared you as a parent, how would that make you feel? How would it make you feel if your child compared themselves and their value and worth by the child that lives next door, the child that has different opportunities, the child that has a different upbringing, the child has a different set of parents? All their circumstances are different, but your child is comparing themselves to, not even comparing, they are evaluating. They are evaluating their lives according to that other child. We're going to look up this word evaluating. Hold on. To evaluate something is to form an idea of the amount, number, or value of, or to assess a thing. To evaluate something is to judge or determine the significance, the worth, or the quality of. To judge or determine the significance or worthiness of. That's why I love to look words up. My pastor calls me a wordsmith. I love words. Words are so powerful to me. And defining, knowing what these words are at the root and defining what they mean will better help you understand you. It'll better help you understand why you do things. But also, now that you know, does it not make you kind of look at this thing differently? I am evaluating, comparing, judging my significance and the significance of my worth according to what I'm seeing somebody else do or be or how they look. I don't know about y'all, but that makes me immediately start to say, well, wait a minute now. It makes me look at comparing myself to somebody else differently. I'm determining my significance, worth, and quality of who I am because somebody else has a flatter stomach than me, bigger butt than I do, rounder, perkier breast than I do, longer hair than I do, has a husband and I don't, has children and I don't, has children that are not getting in trouble, but mine are, has more money in the bank account than I do, drives a bigger car than I do. They live in a house, I'm living in an apartment. My worth and significance, the quality of me is being determined by somebody else's assets. That right there is your sign to be set free, right there. There has to be caution taken as to what I'm consuming when I'm looking and scrolling and I see things that I'm now jealous of and that I'm now envying because I don't have it, because I want it, because I feel like that should be me and not them. And then there has to be accountability in what I consume. If I don't recognize that it is triggering me to think of myself in such a low place, the frequency by which I see myself is so low. And you know how the algorithm works. What you look at, what you like, what you share is telling the algorithm, oh, you like that. Let me send you some more. I feel like as adults, we have to fix our own algorithm. If me watching this is triggering me to think this way about myself, if me watching this is causing me to feel a certain way about myself that is not lifting me up and is not raising my self-esteem and cause me to feel like my life ain't worth jack, I need to be my own algorithm. I need to not watch it. I need to unfollow. I need to get off of social media. I need to put my phone down. We have to be more responsible and intentional about what we consume. And one thing we don't take into consideration is that these are the things that somebody is showing us. These are the lives through filtered lenses. These are the lives through edits. These are the lives through editing software. These are the lives we want to present to you because I ain't going to show you everything, but I'm going to show you the good stuff. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'll show you the pretty stuff. I'll show you what we practice. I'll show you what took us 30 different shots to get. I'll show you what took us 2 or 3 takes to record. But I'm not necessarily showing you everything. Same thing goes for television. The same thing goes for the people that you talk to, the places that you go. You have to be in charge of your eye gate, your ear gate. You got to be in charge of your spirit. You got to be in charge of your mind. And you have to be careful with how cunning the enemy can be. He can be very crafty. You don't think he'll try to sneak in there and send you some stuff that's going to make you feel worse? If you're not using these things to promote growth, to encourage you to change, to motivate you and inspire you, but they're doing the opposite, you have got to be way more responsible with what you consume. Because although social media, unfortunately, has played a huge role in the way we feel about ourselves, we're not their puppets. And we have to stop acting like they are the puppet master. They should not be telling us how to think and what we should look at. Cosmetic brands should not tell you that you're not the woman, the it girl, if you don't have this. And you should not let social media shops catch that. You should not let social media shops tell you if you don't have this, then you're not that. And you're out there constantly spending and buying because you're trying to buy a feel good. You're trying to buy a make my life better. You're trying to buy a make me like them. That is why you have influencers. People will get paid to say that something is great and paid to make you believe that it's amazing. And so you buy into it and you buy it because you want to be amazing. You want to look like her. You want to feel that great. You want to have that man. You want to have that body. But there's a little fine print, an imaginary fine print that I want us all to start pretending like we see. You know how some things will say real small, results may vary. Results may vary if you're not willing to do everything that this person is doing to have what they're having. Because the reality of it is, while you are wanting that life, while you are wanting that body, while you're wanting that relationship, while you are wanting their social media account to be yours, while you're wanting this life that you see them put in their vlogs, while you're watching these celebrities, are you willing to do what they have to do? Are you willing to do the work to create the type of life that you want? Moreover, are you willing to do what they had to do to get it and what they have to do to keep it? See, that's the T right there. Because if you want her body, you got to find out what she did to get it. Now, she could either be the one that gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning and she go hits it. Like she goes and works out, she lifts weights, she does all the things for a good hour, hour and a half. She's doing morning routines, skin routines, night routines. She's eating the way she should be. She's drinking the water. She's going to go see her doctors, getting her checkups. She's doing daily devotions and she's praying. Are you willing to do everything that she's doing to get it? She could also be one that said, no, I don't want to do all of that. I'm going to go to the doctor. I'm going to let him suck and nip and tuck. I got the money. I'm going to go do it. And I got to go back every 6 months, but I'm going to go get it filled in again. Are you willing to do that? We crave and we desire what we want, but we're not willing to do what it takes to get it. Then you have to ask yourself, do I want to do that? Do I really want to do that to have that? Like, is it that you really want to have that body like that? Do you really want to go get a BBL? Do you want to go get your breast done? And if you do, that is your prerogative. That is between you and the God that created you. Are you wanting to do the pain as well? Do you want to go through the recovery period? This is no shade. If you are buying, I'm not disrespecting anybody that goes about doing, but I am putting the reality out there because there are some women who have in the last 2 or 3 years come out and said, whatever you do, please do not go do this. I went and did it because I thought that's what I wanted. I didn't know I was going to go through this health problem and that health problem. I'd have to go get this removed and that taken out. I didn't know I would lose this body part. That body part would turn black. That's the reality of it. Has that happened to everybody? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It has not. But we cannot not talk about those who have had it happen to. Meanwhile, we're desiring what someone has. Are you willing to do what they did to get it and what they have to do to keep it? Nor am I saying if you go about it just to exercise and to eat right way, that's the only way. I'm not saying that that is. But again, am I willing to do that in order to look like that? Can I realistically look like that even if I did everything that you did? Or can I be happy with what I am able to do and am willing to do so I can get what I want? And those are the things that we're not thinking about when we're scrolling or when we are comparing ourselves. The sad part about comparisonitis is it strips away who you are. It causes you not to appreciate what you have, who you are, and what you contribute to the world. You spend so many days that you can never get back hating or despising your life. Have y'all ever like been at a season in life you never liked your weight? You hated how your hair was. And then 5 years down the road, you look back and be like, man, why was I even feeling like that? I was smaller then. There was nothing wrong with my hair. Now I'm having trouble growing it. But you look back then and you like, what was I was tripping. What was I thinking? If we stop in these moments where we are looking at something else and evaluating us as less than and not worthy as, and just stop in those moments and just have a come to you moment with you. It is you versus you. 100% of you can fully thrive when you stop comparing you to her, when you stop comparing your life to that. This one eyelash is really giving me just trying to be the co-host today. This is something that I wrote down when I was thinking about answering your question today. As long as I am craving your body, the house that you have, the husband that you're married to, my relationship to be exactly like yours, I'm also craving and desiring everything that comes along with it. And because I have no idea what it is costing you to have it or costing you to keep it, it's costing me to miss out on who I am and enjoy me in my life right now. So while I'm craving yours, I don't know that for you to have a husband like that, y'all had to go through 5 rough patch years and a lot of counseling. I don't know that to have that car that you have, y'all both are working 2 jobs and a side hustle to be able to pay for those and the insurance and still make your mortgage and still buy your food and still pay off the credit card bills that you have because you went and bought the clothes that I've been envying and bought the shoes and the purse that I've been wanting. So y'all barely see each other. But am I willing to take all of that along with it? Because that's what you have to do to keep it. I need to figure out what is at the root of my jealousy, the root cause of me having these feelings of envy and inadequacy, that my life is not enough, that not enough fulfillment in my life to keep me happy. Examine why don't you feel good about you right now where you are? The next thing I would ask is, why do you feel your enough is not good enough? Would I really feel better about myself if I had that handbag? Would I really feel better about myself if I was in a relationship and I had a man? Will my self esteem rise? Will my feelings of inadequacy decrease if I look just like her? If we ever had the opportunity to talk to the people that we really wish we could be just like, talk to them like one on one and ask them some questions, you might find that they may be dealing with the same areas of feeling inadequate, not feeling enough. Their self worth and the way they think about themselves may be about as low as yours is. It doesn't look like it on the outside because they got all the things and they look all the ways with all the accessories, but they would probably tell you all these things, they don't create real joy and happiness. I have them. But I thought when I got them, I was going to be happier. When I got them, I love myself more. When I had this, I'd have more friends. When I had that, I'd get me a man. When I looked like that, I'd have a man that would stay in my life and wouldn't leave me or cheat on me. They probably thought the same thing. But looking at it, it's a lot of these beautiful women, gorgeous queens walking around who are unhappy and who have been cheated on. And that is not me saying that everybody that looks great and that is in shape and that has wealth, they're not happy. That's not what I'm saying. That's not everybody's testimony. But please don't miss the point. When we go back to accountability, we have to talk about being lazy and how being lazy can cause envy and jealousy, and sometimes bitterness and resentment. Have y'all ever just resented somebody? You just did not like them at all. There was no real reason why, But every time you saw them, it just on your insides because you're upset that they have what you want, but they're working hard to get it. And you keep stopping and giving up right before you attain it, right before you get to your victory and to your blessing and to that goal that you're working so hard for. You stop and give up. They keep working. You're envious and jealous over somebody that's choosing to do what you won't do. They're working very hard. And yeah, they may have to work two jobs and a side hustle to get that car, but they're willing to do that to have it. You're not willing to even work your hours that you calling in all the time. You done telling people that your baby's sick 6 times already this month because you're not willing to work hard. You're not willing to do the work. And the thing is laziness will have you jealous and envious and bitter. And them emotions and feelings going to the wrong thing. So now you angry at somebody else because they're up working hard to create the life that they want, but you're not willing to. It's a few scriptures that talk about being lazy. I love Proverbs. Proverbs is one of the most keep it real books of the Bible. But Proverbs chapter 6, verses 6 through 11, it says, take a lesson from the ants, you lazy bones. Learn from their ways and become wise. Though they have no prince or governor or ruler to make them work, they labor hard all summer, gathering food for the winter. But you, lazy bones, how long will you sleep? When will you wake up? A little extra sleep, a little more slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. Then poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. Scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. Proverbs be breaking it down like this. Proverbs said the ants don't have anybody to tell it what to do. They work hard because they know there's a winter coming. Nobody needs to tell an ant it's time for us to get to work. The ants are going to work all summer. There have been two of the longest ant trails I have ever seen outside before you get to the walkway in my apartment. I would tell you, I see those ants. All them little bitty ants got these big old pieces of white something that they are carrying in a line. Like they know their job, they know their duty, they know the assignment. It's hotter than fish grease outside. But nobody has to tell those ants, we got to do this because winter's coming. They know there's work to be done. Then it goes on to say, but you lazy. How long you going to sleep? How long before you wake up? You sleep a little extra. You want to slumber a little bit more. You want to sit and fold your hands like you ain't got nothing to do. Then all of a sudden, poverty is going to pounce on you like a bandit, and scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. I can't be mad at the ants that's going to get busy, that are going to get busy and work because they know winter is coming. They have a goal, they have a mission, they have something they want to attain. So they work hard at it. But we cannot sit back and look at the ants work hard. And then when winter comes and we don't have no food, we can't be ticked off at the ants and angry at the ants because we chose to sleep a little bit longer. We decided, I don't want to do all that. We decided it don't take all that to have that. You can't get mad at your sister because she's doing what it takes to have that and you're choosing not to. You get tired quick, you get disappointed quick, you get distracted quick. Stumbling blocks make you stumble, but then they make you stay down too. You have a victim mentality, and so you stand on all the reasons why you're not doing what you should be doing because it's everybody else's fault and because this happened to you then, so now you can't go do this. So when you stand on all the reasons why you don't have what you want to have, the more you think about it, it's really not her. It's really not the things. It's really not the external stuff. It's really not somebody else. It's really you versus you. What is it about me that I block me? Why am I not going after what I want with all that's within me? That's not to come down on anybody because a new day is a new chance to start over. We have exactly 6 months left in this year. We can get out there, we can attack our goals, we can get out there and work hard, and we can decide to be the ant. We can decide not to be the lazy bones. What is it that you want, sis? What's the thing that you want? And I mean genuinely, what do you genuinely want? We ain't necessarily talking about a handbag, but if that's what you want, are you gonna work hard? You're gonna save? Are you gonna watch how you spend? Are you gonna become wiser with your finances so you can have it? What is it that you're willing to do to get what you want? You want to be healthy, you want to lose weight. What are you willing to do to have that goal reached? We have to also make sure that we are not living in and operating from an entitlement mindset. The mindset that says everybody owes you, you should never have to work or try, or that blames everybody for what you don't have except for you. The accountability is going to always lie in your lap. Things that have happened to you that were not in your control. If you were the victim of things happening, and I'm not belittling your experience, but from this moment forward, your healing is going to be up to you. You reaching out for help and getting counseling, that's up to you. You don't like your job, you going to get the job of your dreams or a better job, that's up to you. If you're going to go take classes and get more education so you can climb up that ladder, that's up to you. If you want to have a stronger marriage and you want to stop arguing with your spouse, that's up to you. It's up to you. If you decide you don't want to stay with them, all of those things are up to you. But if you just sit and you twiddle your hands and you sit and you just sleep a little bit longer and you sit and you scroll a couple of more minutes and you sit back and just say, I get to it tomorrow. I'll start fresh on Monday morning. I'll start fresh on the first of next month. No, all of these things lie in your lap, and the decisions to change, the decision to go after what you want lies with you. It is me versus me. It's you versus you. You can sit and watch me and be in your feelings because I'm doing my podcast when you know it's been in your heart to do one. So instead of you reaching out to me, asking me, sis, what did you do? If Nikki can do it, I'm gonna get up off my butt. I can do it. Or even praying me through it, you'll sit and talk about me. You'll even hate to see me promote it. You'll hate that it come across your feed. I want to get to the root cause of why that happens. I want us to ask ourselves, what are we afraid of? I wrote this down earlier because I really felt the Lord was putting this on my heart for our growth work and to examine ourselves today. By the way, anytime you all submit a question that you want me to do on Ask Coach Nick segment, let me know if you want your name to be mentioned. Otherwise, I will not mention it. But I want to thank you so much for providing today's topic with your question. I love you. What are we afraid of? Is it easier to look through our windows and watch other people live while we hate secretly, while we resent them secretly, while we beat ourselves up and condemn ourselves for not having what they have? Is that easier than us getting up and doing the things every single day that we need to do to have what we want? Is it easier to be bitter than it is to be disappointed? Is it easier to be bitter than it is for us to be disappointed? Is it easier for me to be bitter about the great life that I see you living that I wish I could have? Because I would rather be bitter than be disappointed because I try to go after it and I don't reach the goal. I try it and it doesn't work out for me. I work on losing the weight, but I gain some. I go after the house and I get rejected and turned down by the banks. I try to have relationships and he cheated on me. It didn't work out. She's not my friend anymore. Would you rather be bitter than to be disappointed? I thought that was such a powerful question. Examine your heart. There's your sign. You don't really hate your sister. You don't really have beef with your brother. You really do not get along with your siblings. Even if you feel they had it easier than you. Y'all grew up in the same house, but they had it easier than you. You really don't hate your sibling. You really don't. But because their light is shining right now, it makes the fact that you have chosen not to, it make you feel some kind of way. So jealousy has come in between siblings, and jealousy has come in between brothers. And I won't go over to their house and I won't talk to them. Not really because they really, really did something that hurt me just that bad. I just really can't stand to look at what I don't have. So instead of me going around my sibling and feeling worse about myself because I'm looking at what they have, it's just easier for me to stay over here, hate, talk about them, not go around them, not call them, than it is for me to just say, you know what? I can do better. I know there's more that I should be doing. I know there's more in me. I know I have way more gifts and talents that I'm not utilizing. Then I would like to say this. Aren't you tired of giving so much power and energy and focus to being jealous? That takes a lot of energy because nothing good comes from comparing. The only thing I could see coming from comparing would be maybe looking at someone's achievement, looking at where I am and seeing how can I attain that. Using that as my motivation to say if they could do it, I can. But when it crosses over into judgment and determining my significance and my worth, those are shaky waters I don't want to swim in. I'm not going to do that to myself. Are you afraid of you? Are you afraid of the potential power that is in you, your ability to actually be successful, that you're even afraid of your own success? Are you so afraid of you? Oh, I just got a whole revelation that just turned this question around. The reason why you're comparing and you're jealous, you're envious, you're hating, and you become bitter and resentful toward a sibling, toward whomever, is you are watching them become what you know you can be. And although you're hating that they're that, and it causes you to feel a certain way about you, you're so afraid to be that and become that. So you would rather put energy in and focus on you're not good enough for that. You're not worthy enough to, which gives you the reason, which gives you the excuse, which gives you the go pass to not go after the success. Let, 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 let me sum it up. I see in you what I know I could do, what I know I could have, what I know I could be, but I'm afraid of that for myself. I'm afraid of it. And that desire has always been there for you to have greater, do more, to be more. So when you see somebody else being more and doing the thing that you know you could be doing, it terrifies you. It irks the very thing in you that wants to be the lazy bones, that wants to say no, that wants to give up because you're too afraid to. And them doing it is right there, proof that it can be done. That's the sign right there. They are the proof that it can be done and it can be attained. They are the constant proof in your face. But instead of that being your inspiration or your motivation, it becomes your agitation. Here's what I want to challenge you with. There's an agitation cycle in our washing machines. And what it does is this, and it takes your clothes and it moves them along with the water and the detergent, the bleach and the fabric softener, because it is actually moving your clothes and scrubbing them to get the dirt out. That agitation that you've been feeling, that jealousy, that comparison, bitterness, that secret hating, that agitation that you get in your spirit every time you see somebody with something that you want, doing the things that you know you could be doing. Let that agitation clean the dirtiness of comparison itis out of you. Let it clean the dirtiness of envy out of you. Let it, all of it, hatred, unworthiness, self judgment, laziness, feelings of inadequacy. Let it clean all of that up out of you. So in these next 6 months of 2024, You go forward with a clean mindset and a clean slate on how you view life outside of you, but how you view yourself. Your enough is enough. Start there. Start there. Be accountable for what you consume. Know your own triggers. Turn that freaking social media off sometimes. And don't determine your worth and your value against what somebody else has. Are you willing to do the work? Are you going to be the ant or are you going to be the lazy bone? I want to say this to you. Don't hate who you are on your way to becoming who you are meant to be. Becoming better and growing is not about hating who you are now. Dearly becoming, thank you so much for asking, how do I stop comparing myself? With love, I send you this episode. With love, I tell you everything that I said to you, I've said to me, and I continue to say to myself all the time. I know for me to go where I want to go and to have what I want, I got to stop blocking myself. Ultimately, it's not anybody else. It's not him. It's not what she did. It's not even making the excuse. It is me versus me. And I have to be more accountable, as I hope you too become more accountable and more intentional with what we consume, what we let in to feed us, what we say, how we think about ourselves. One of my favorite books, The Secret, encourages positive thoughts because thoughts become feelings and feelings become actions and your actions become your result. If you think about that, that's how things like jealousy and comparison itis can ultimately cause inactivity in our lives because these thoughts become our feelings. How we feel is going to be how we act and how we show up. And that is how we end up having the same results year after year after year. It is not too late. Ask yourself all those introspective questions. I truly believe it's going to transform your life. It's going to change how you view yourself in the world, how you view your value in this world. Do not appraise your beautiful, precious life according to what someone else has, how someone else looks, or what someone else is doing. And remember, God loves you so very much, and becoming is beautiful. Thank you all so much for tuning into today's episode. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have not, to set your notifications so you do not miss an episode, and take the time to share. Also, I want you guys to leave me a comment. What is one thing that you will take away from today's episode? And if you are interested in me doing an Ask Coach Nick with a question that you may have, you can reach me at dearlybecomingpod@gmail.com. I see you this episode with love as we all jump off this train of comparison and jump on our own personal journeys to becoming the best versions of ourselves. I love you all so much, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.